I want to do an album with sounds of blackness and brother length. EBK. Michael Jackson's movie came out. Janet Jackson was like, nay. It's always one person that could be in the game, but don't want to play. Control, cause I don't want none of this shit to work if I can't be the soul. I'm hypercritical and proud. I woke up during surgery and said, I'm trying to get some sleep. You're being too loud. I'm unruly. I'd rather shit not work if it don't go through me. Either I'm the boss or I'm telling. This is who did it, and somehow they got seeds in their watermelon. You don't like me anyway. You want my $1 million friendship with Penny Pat, and I could change it all for you. I gave a nigga a car that needed a ride, and all he did was complain about the other shit I'm not doing for him when he hopped these rides. I don't owe none of y'all nothing. My time, my dimes, it's mine. Welcome to Kraig Facts. My time, my dimes, it's mine.
Starting the show soon, you know what time it is. Gawd.
Everything.
I'm going to start off the show talking about a very interesting guy.
And I'm making fun of
you guys familiar with Paul Getty?
Podcast be like, Gawd. Check it out. I'm telling you right now. Michael Jordan 1-8.
Paul Getty. Are you guys familiar with Paul Getty? You on your computer, look up Paul Getty. In 1973, he was a billionaire in Italy. There's a museum here in Hollywood, California, named after him called the Getty Museum. Paul Getty refused to pay a $17 million ransom. And keep in mind, he was the richest man in the world at the time. He was a billionaire in the 70s. He refused to pay kidnappers a $17 million ransom for his grandson. He had tons of other grandchildren, which also is another point in life that a lot of people got to realize so they don't bull jive, is that everybody's replaceable. Everybody's replaceable. So they kidnapped Paul Getty's grandchild. It takes him 6 months to negotiate the freedom of his grandchild because he didn't want to pay the $17 million. Now let's put this in perspective. $17 million is like $17 to a nigga that has $10,000. It's really no money. But his wiring is so principle-based because he was a self-made billionaire that he could not see himself giving up $17 million knowing that he has 15, 20 other grandkids that money could be used for. If this was your grandchild that was kidnapped and you were a billionaire, would you have paid the $17 million? And it's not like they just said, hey, Paul, give me the bread or you'll never see your grandkid again. Like they was trying to intimidate Paul and the family for the 6-7 months they had this grandchild. They was doing wild stuff to Paul Getty's grandchild. They was doing shit so wild that when he was finally released and a ransom was eventually paid, which it wasn't the $17 million, it destroyed him for the rest of his life. Like he might as well have been dead. The kidnapping happened on July 10th, 1973. His 16-year-old grandchild was abducted. Obviously, probably by one of those mobs or one of those Italian syndicates. The note said, I have your 14-year-old grandchild. If I pay 1 penny now, I'll have 14 grandchildren. This is a note he wrote. This is a note that Paul Getty wrote to the public. Hold on. I'm saying that wrong. So after months of not paying and negotiating with Mr. Getty, they cut off John Getty, the grandchild's ear, and they mailed it to Paul. Imagine getting an ear in the mail. You're like, oh, my God, that's my grandchild's ear, and you still don't pay. My question is, what is this, a matter of principles? Or is this man just that selfish where he can't see? Is being a billionaire the most selfish thing you can be? Is there any way to have empathy for other humans and be a billionaire? Paul still didn't come up off the 17 mil after the kidnappers cut his grandchild, John Getty's ear off and mailed it to him so he could see that they were serious. Now, Getty eventually paid the full amount to kidnappers, but not after, but after he renegotiated. So the original amount was 17 million. Paul was about negotiations. I can't give you 17 million, but eventually he got them to agree to 2.2 million dollars. So my question is this the greatest business negotiation in history, or is this a family tragedy that a man was capable of paying 17 million, waited out the kidnappers, and got them to accept 2.2 million? Would you tell your grandfather to hold out on the 17 mil and negotiate it down to 2.2 million, knowing that the exchange is a lifetime of baggage and torment and a psychological destruction? Like, this is actually what a negotiation is, manifested into an actual event. A negotiation is psychological warfare. Does anybody else out there have trouble negotiating their value and worth related to this situation? You might as well go into every situation in your life where your value is needed, be prepared to war to get what you want, because the psychological vulnerability you have to go through to build value in yourself in whatever you do, and then get other humans to accept that, the psychological torment you have to go through to be great, it's worth negotiating every penny. Because you got to remember, on the other side of whatever it is you want to be paid for, they have an objective as well. And their objection is to get you to accept a destroyed version of yourself so they can pay you less than what you're worth for what they want from you. Life is a constant negotiation of somebody trying to get more from you than they deserve. And they got to get you to believe something about yourself that lowers your value to accept this lesser amount for whatever it is you do. I don't know if y'all following me on this, but this Paul Getty shit is actually kind of deep. It also plays into the whole supply and demand principle in economics, because his response, if you look this up and research it, to the kidnappers publicly was, why would I pay 17 million for one grandchild and I got 20 others? I got 20 others. So yeah, you might want 17 mil, but I'm not going to give you that. Anybody trying to get more from you than they deserve is a kidnapper. If honesty is not the only way they do it, if they not say, hey, man, I want more because I think I'm worth more, and that's it. But if they come at you like, you're not a good person, so I need more. Why would I pay you more and you did this? If there's always like an ad hominem in debate or argument about value, that an ad hominem is when somebody, instead of arguing the point, maybe whatever the value point is, instead of arguing that point, they talk about your character flaws and the things you do wrong. You get what I'm saying? That's the way most people negotiate what they want from another party. Is instead of talking about what they want, they talk about what's bad about you, what's imperfect about you, because they want you to accept the lower version of yourself in order to win the argument or the negotiation. In the NBA, the way they do that is they'll talk about the injuries a player had, or you didn't have a good season last. We might have made the playoffs, but we didn't go to the finals. We went to the quarterfinals. So I can't pay you what I paid Grant Hill because he got the Pistons to the semifinals. Your quarterfinals value is this, which will always be less than what you're asking for. Life is a constant negotiation, but Paul Getty held out 6 months, risked the life of his grandchild to reassess what the kidnappers were asked, to get the kidnappers to reassess what they were asking for. Then once they reassessed it and understood that he wouldn't budge, he gave them a number, 2.2 million. And he didn't give them the 2.2 all at once. He gave them 800 grand in one installment. Then they had to prove to him that they deserved the other portion of the money. This whole situation with Paul Getty and his grandchild, y'all got to look this up, man. This is This is a lesson in negotiating your value. I was unfamiliar with the situation. I thought it was a very interesting topic to talk about. He protected his fortune in the long run. Have y'all heard of this Paul Getty situation? Have y'all ever heard of it? I want to know. I want to know like Joe. Paul Getty. But see, negotiations can be ugly, right? Because when somebody is trying to get something from you in a negotiation, and they go as far as like kidnapping a grandchild, you got other people to protect. So whenever you're negotiating something in life and you want to get what you're worth out of, you got to think about those around you that deserve what you're worth. Because people don't attack people who don't have value. It's very rare you walking down the street and you see somebody telling the bum, you ain't shit. Look at you out here, sleep on the ground, dirty, been months, bed bugs and everything, your jackets, your socks, your clothes. Like you very rarely see somebody attacking someone verbally who doesn't have value, even though bums have value. I'm just using that as an example. If you're under attack in your life, it's because you got some value, my nigga. It's because you got some value. It's just sometimes people want to get you to, they want you to reassess your value because they want to be above you or they want something from you that they can't give themselves. So they must attack you to get it from you. But here's the other part of Paul Getty being a billionaire and capable of paying the ransom is once if he would have paid that $17 million for one grandchild, then other grandchildren would have gotten kidnapped. There might have been some grandchildren that said, wait. My cousin is worth this. I'm going to kidnap myself. I'm going to pay somebody to kidnap me and act like I'm kidnapped so I get some money from grandfather. Because once people see a weakness in you, everybody starts to try to exploit it. That's what they do. Humans exploit weakness. That's why playing possum is such an incredible gift as a person. When you can act like you don't know, but you know, you can set that trap to see who falls into it, who tries to play you. Sometimes you got to act injured. Sometimes you got to put a knee brace on or walk on crutches and ain't shit hurt. You just want to see who gonna try you. Because once somebody see you breaking bread, $17 million for somebody else is going to try it. The dog going to come up missing? That's what's going to... Kidnappers always start from the bottom and work their way up to the top. They always stick their toe in the water. Dog might come up missing. Car might come up missing. They want to see how you're going to respond to all these things. They're trying to test the parameters of your limits. They're trying to see if you can establish healthy borders and boundaries. And if you don't, they at your neck. Let's go into these comments as we talk about this topic. It's always somebody in the comments saying some goofy and funny stuff. What's your point? Let's see here. I'm reading comments. Somebody said, how sapient are you, Kraig? You're a great teacher. Do the historical info, musical promo. Oh, man, I appreciate you. I can't, I might need glasses, man, because I'm trying, bro, to read some of these comments, but it's hard for me, man. But I appreciate that. Look up the Paul Getty situation, man. I want to see what y'all really think. I bet you'll be able to find some shit to, to apply to your life. Is there an amount that you wouldn't pay to get a loved one back? If your mother was kidnapped, is there an amount that's too much? If you got, say, 10 grand in the bank, somebody kidnapped your mama, are you giving the whole 10 grand up to get mama back? Mama, what's going to happen when the kidnappers call? You got my mama? You need how much? 10 grand? And you got 10 grand. First of all, If the kidnappers ask for exactly what you got in the bank, the teller is in on it. Somebody that work at your local branch where you bank calls somebody and was like, "We need this 10,000." First of all, anybody kidnapping for 10,000 ain't got nothing going on in life. Cause, but if somebody is asking you for an amount they know you got, that's an inside job. That's an inside job. It's certain information you got to know for sure before you try to extort somebody for money. First of all, you got to know that they got the money. So in order to know that they got you, in order for them to know you got the money, that's proximity. Somebody close to you when you wasn't looking made a call like, "Hey, he got it. He got all of it. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it." Paul Getty. Y'all get familiar with Paul. Probably one of the best negotiators in the history of the world. And keep in mind, there was some pitfalls to the negotiation. The grandchild was kidnapped, ended up being a drug addict, didn't do much in life, died early, suffered from emotional distress, became a damaged human being. But Paul showed us how to negotiate. The AI race. I don't know if y'all know what's going on in AI. I reported some stuff with AI yesterday, but it's kind of heating up, man. Some interesting things happening in the AI race currently. Let's start with a couple cold hard facts about AI. Man, how do I make these comments bigger? I need to get me what do they call that again? A moderator? The AI is the new AI. Look. First of all, I want to preface this by saying AI has its good and its bad, right? Like I use AI all the time. I'm just now kind of like really getting into it, but I use it all the time, right? But for those of y'all who don't know, AI is here to take jobs. It's here to save companies millions of dollars, right? So I know we use it to Google things and come up with crazy shit, posters. I see a lot of AI. I saw some funny AI shit the other day where they had LeBron James, Embiid, and Jalen Brown, and they was all like their heads were on the bodies of bad bitches, right? You know, so that's always good to use AI for shit like that. But AI companies build these apps and infrastructures, right? And a lot of people don't understand the back end of AI. Like when somebody establishes an AI program, they got to buy a warehouse, they got to buy millions of dollars worth of servers to be able to store data. They got to hire employees. It's not just get on here and say, "I got an AI where you can Google soccer facts and it brings up everything about soccer." Like, now to build the infrastructure of AI takes hundreds of millions of dollars, right? And so these AI companies have this upfront cost of hundreds of millions of dollars, and they build these AI infrastructures with the goal in mind. The main goal in the way that they make money off of AI is they sell it to businesses. Businesses spend millions of dollars on AI to do things like legal research. So they replace entire legal departments with an AI that can do the work of hundreds of lawyers. They use AI to replace administrative workers, people doing secretary work, people sending emails, people incoming calls. They replace entire call centers with one AI app. So where a company may spend $20 million a year on a call center, they'll spend $2 million with the AI, and the AI will do the work of hundreds of people who take incoming calls for, say, Bank of America. So this AI that we're so dependent on, we're in the first steps of it, where we develop the addiction and dependency on AI to get things done very quickly. But we're training our replacement, is what I'm saying. So all these companies spending millions of dollars on AI advancement and then putting out these cool apps where we can game and make flyers and edit videos. All they're doing is studying our behavior patterns to replace us. All the shit you do on your phone is going into a memory bank to be replaced. Think about this. It may be a time when we're on the other side of this AI arms race for our bread and our, to supposedly, help society when in reality we're replacing ourselves. There's going to be a time when we have nothing. Jobs will no longer be for humans. Shit, they may replace the NBA with AI. The NBA will probably be AI in 50 years. What are we going to do at that point when AI completely replaces us? How are we going to negotiate our value when everything that we have of value we've given away? Peace, peace, peace to the gods. This is what we learned from Paul Getty 50 years later. Is Paul Getty had value. He had money. So Paul Getty was able to say no. Once AI takes over, it's going to take away our ability to say no. Our kids are not going to have any negotiating chips. We're going to have to destroy this thing and start from the beginning. Imagine trying to negotiate with a system that has no reason to respect you, no reason to appreciate your talents, no reason to even have no reason to even look at you like you're needed. Man versus machine. The only thing that's going to be left in 50 years are prostitutes and roaches. But they're probably going to come up with an AI prostitution app. I'm telling you, it's going to be some craziness. I predict that computers will start fucking and having families, and all this shit gonna cycle over. Hey, I just can't see the benefit of having all of us around. I think at some point they're gonna start just kicking us off the earth. What y'all think? What's the point of having us around if you got an app? Look, right now you can go on the AI app and say, write a whole rap album for me. It'll give you 10 songs. First song about my mama. Second song about my mama's mama. Third song about my mama's brother, and call the album Family. Fifth song about my mama's brother and his wife and they 3 kids. You can do a whole family album just saying, write this. We're not needed no more, bro. Elon might be the Antichrist. AI is the new space race. And the companies with the biggest, baddest computers with the most memory are going to dictate our lives to us. You ever thought about that? Could you imagine Apple controlling your life? That's hard to imagine, right? Right now, you think you control an Apple. You think you go to the Apple store, you buy a computer, you in the driver's seat. Nah. You buying that iPhone, and you telling that iPhone exactly who you are. It know what time you wake up every day. It know who you like to call. It know who you cheating on your spouse with. It knows your credit card numbers. It knows your address. If you're a Tesla, it knows your car, what kind of car you drive. It knows where you charge your car at. It knows the places you go every day. This right here is a trick. I don't know if there's any way to come back from this. This might be the biggest thing since the Bible. Your cell phone is actually the new Bible. I had a joke, right, where I talked about I'm working on a new Bible. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much shit that didn't make the first Bible. And then I was thinking about it. Well, no, there is a new Bible. Your cell phone is the new Bible. You can do nothing without this. What did my man from OKC say? I'll be back taking calls next week too, man. OpenAI announced expanding the ChatGPT access to over 100,000 academics. I don't know if you guys knew that. Europe unveiled a new $10 billion AI gigafactory initiative to compete with the U.S. and China AI infrastructures. So in Europe, they're going to spend $10 billion on AI expansion to get in the ball game with the U.S. AI infrastructure demand has risen the price of computer chips. So y'all don't even think about this type of shit. Y'all thinking about gas, but the price of computer chips has went up almost 20, 30%. Because of that, Sony raised the prices of the PS5 in several markets, citing memory shortages. You haven't noticed that the price of your damn PS5 has gotten more? You think that's because what? What you think that's because of? You thought because Madden was so hot, they raising the price of computer chips, which also raised the price of PS5s? No, I'm telling you, man, we are so dependent on these computers and this AI. They're about to do the same thing in that industry that they've been doing with gas for years. They're trying to figure out a way to tie in world events into the computer industry, so every time a war happens, they can raise the price of computer parts and apps and shit. This AI spending is getting crazy, man. They want to replace us so fast. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but recently, Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon investors have these companies under scrutiny because they feel like they've been spending too much money on AI infrastructures. Because AI helps them with their bottom line. It helps them be able to fire employees. It helps them get the work done faster. It's a lot of weird shit going on in the world. I think it might be beyond our ability to stop. It may be time to blow this thing up and start over again. We might have to just start walking around and knocking out nerds. Anybody that looks like they know how to make AI, we just may have to start targeting them. It might be back to the 80s bully shit. Do y'all remember back in the day when they would just bully smart people? If you wore glasses, a bully would just knock your glasses off your face. It may be time to get back to that. It's becoming expensive. I remember when ChatGPT was free. Now it's $19 a month. I don't know what you pay, but now it's $19 a month. It may be time to go to war with AI. What y'all think? Because it's taking 100 times more jobs than it's creating. First of all, you got to be a certain level of education and a certain pedigree to even get hired by AI companies. So how does that benefit us, right? The average everyday Joe, the electrician, the truck driver, they can't work at no AI company. They're not about to hire people like us. What benefit does it do to you? Or what benefit does it have for you? I don't know if you guys are already, but AI is in the trucking industry now. Do you know that there's almost 3 million people in this country that drive trucks? Do you know that they recently passed an autonomous driving law, which is an uh, AI based technology where trucks, trash trucks, diesel trucks, dump trucks, they'll be able to drive themselves? What are we going to do with all these ex-cons and weirdos that are in these trucks? What is society going to turn into when they don't have jobs? I'm just asking all these questions because every time I do research on what to talk about on my show, there's always AI topics. There's always something going on in technology that is disturbing, and it bothers me. It bothers me that we're so casual about giving away our abilities to provide for our families. Once AI starts driving diesel trucks and trash trucks and shit, this shit is over with. Because basically what mainstream society is saying is we don't want nobody to have nothing. It's not like they're saying, look, we're creating these AI bots to do the job. All y'all can just move to Hawaii, live on the beach, drink out of coconuts, have sex casually, and all that. Like, they're not even researching things that can help humanity anymore as much as they used to. All the research is in how to save money. Where's the AI bot that can cure AIDS? You can invent an AI that can do the job of 10,000 people, but you still can't find an AI that'll increase a nigga T-cell count if he got AIDS? Where's the AI that can predict how to get rid of cancer? I know you got AIs y'all can figure out AIs that can replace the doctor so the AI can do the surgery. Why you want to replace the doctor? Where's the AI that's curing shit? Everything that they do now is to save money. And y'all out here comfortable just partying and going to clubs and doing all this weird shit, and you don't understand that they trying to replace you? I hate to sound like the old guy that's bitter, but dog, we are way too comfortable. You guys need to start looking at some of these trending topics that are happening daily in the news and see, man, they not into the cure no more. They trying to replace us, nigga. They gonna turn us into dinosaur casserole. I already see it coming right now. This shit is gonna be computers and Jurassic Park in 15 years. Soon as they figure out a way to replace this nigga, all they're gonna do, AI gonna predict how to grow a dinosaur. They're gonna start growing dinosaurs, they're gonna release dinosaurs into the world, and they're gonna eat us. That's what's coming. If you got a fucking computer that can do the work of 10,000 people, we just meat now. We just dinosaur feed. I'm telling you right now, it's coming. Y'all think I'm bullshitting, but it's coming one day. I can't believe y'all out here comfortable like this. Just watching rapper podcasts and NBA podcasts, just being rocked to sleep, not knowing, nigga, you're going to be dinosaur food one day. We are dinosaur food, niggas. You better be ready. They're going to make you season yourself. You're going to have to walk around with Lowry's on you. And when they finally grow the dinosaurs, they're going to make you season yourself so you're eatable for the dinosaurs. Like, that shit is coming. So keep watching basketball and wrestling and dumb shit online. Nigga, you are going to be dinosaur food. How the fuck can you feel comfortable when the shit is the way it is now? Somebody said, that's crazy because I taste good. See, women always making shit sexual. Songwriter Sonny. I mean, I hope you taste good. Shit, you better not taste like like an uncooked chitlin. She said, I taste good. What you taste like, baby? I want to know what you taste like. It's war going on. And guess what's happening in technology? All these companies are still getting stronger, making more money and dominating, and it's war going on. That's because they don't need humans to run their companies. They have AI. It don't matter what's going on in the world with AI. They still got computers to run their country. I mean, to run their businesses. Somebody said that's a woman. It better be a woman. If it's a man here talking about he tastes good, he will be forever banned. Don't be a man in my life talking about what you taste like, because I promise you this, you'll never be able to comment again in this motherfucker. He said the first president grew weed. I need more facts. What president are you talking about? You talking about George Washington? What kind of weed did he grow? Do you have any proof for this? I want to know. I want to know, like Joe. What are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts? Are we going to be dinosaur food soon? Do we have anything to worry about? Please. I'd love to hear what you think. I don't know if y'all knew, but the NFL just recently became America's biggest entertainment business. The NFL is always doing well. I think the people always want to see people trying to knock each other's heads off. They always want to see God-like athleticism. I'm still not comfortable with the way the NFL treats their players contractually. I know a few former players who aren't living so well. Look up this guy. His name was Daryl Lewis. I was really good friends with his nephew, Jeff Lewis. I shouldn't have said their names, but fuck it. Daryl got addicted to drugs and got in a car chase. This is about 15 years ago. Went on the run. Police chased. They got away. Then they ended up capturing him. I don't know what happened in his life after that, but he ended up being I want to say a Pro Bowl cornerback, to being addicted to drugs, to getting into a car chase with the police, which was live on TV, getting chased by the police and arrested. And I think it's like CTE related things. So even though I, support the players in the NFL, I don't really watch as much football as I used to, but I'm not surprised that the sport continues to grow because it is exciting to watch. And I just don't like the way they treat the players. Shout out to Daryl Lewis. Y'all look, I think it may still be on YouTube, the video of him in the car chase. They may have taken that down, but I just have trouble with how the NFL treats players. And to me, it's the closest thing. I ain't going to say slavery, but it's close. I mean, look, I'm going to say something controversial, and if it rubs you the wrong way, I don't care, but I believe this. It may sound stupid to others, but the whole reason technology was invented is because they can't compete with black people. The genetic gifts that we were given naturally by God, for thousands of years, we've experienced hatred because of this. How fast we run, how strong we are, the things we can endure. Hatred. So technology is a byproduct of that. How can I compete with this God, this 6'4", 250-pound God, as a 5'6", 170-pound Italian? How do I compete with that? I have to invent guns. I got to invent different ways to kill. I have to invent a way where I can do the work of 20 people on the battlefield. So then a gun is invented. A gun evens the score then, right? Now you being 6'4", 250, and me being a 5'7" Italian guy at 180 pounds. Now that don't mean nothing because I could just load this gun and bow, shoot you. Then we got guns. See, there was a time when they had guns and we didn't have guns. Then when we got guns, they were like, we got to go bigger. We need to invent the bomb. These are the negotiations, the Paul Getty type of negotiations that are happening in the world as a result and a byproduct of black greatness. Then they get a bomb and they blow up a gang of shit. Then we get a bomb. And they're like, fuck, they keep evening the score. They got a bomb, we got a bomb. We need to invent a different type of bomb. All this technology is an insecure response to our greatness. Because we cornered the market on our organic greatness, just being born and being naturally dominant and smart. We cornered the market on that. So what I'm saying, people, is you got to understand what this AI and computer shit is. It's not a compliment to you being great. It's to nullify your greatness. They want what you have, and they don't want to pay you for it. Y'all better start pushing back on this shit. I'm telling you right now. We got to develop sleeper cells of people who do business with each other. We got to start isolating people who don't do business with us organically. What I'm saying is it's time for more counterculture. Hip-hop is our African-American, it's our blueprint to you in society of what to do when you're being rejected and not accepted by the mainstream. We need counterculture. The easy way is not the way. Y'all in here roasting me. I can't see what y'all saying. I'm so mad I want to roast back. I got to do some research I got to get a bigger screen. Y'all can't see this, but I got like a little monitor right here, but it just ain't big enough. Y'all in here killing me. I want to roast back so bad. I'll be back live tonight and tomorrow. Y'all see me working on something. Give me a while. Once I figure this shit out on how to do it by yourself, I see the Star Report all the time. Shout out to Mr. Star. Eventually, my shit is going to be like that. Just grow with me and continue to be patient with me. I'll see y'all tonight and tomorrow. I'll play a little bit of music before I go. And if I owe you something, you know what to do.
I want to do an album with sounds of blackness and brotherland. EBK. Michael Jackson's movie. I want to do an album with sounds of blackness and brotherland. EBK. Michael Jackson's movie came out. Janet Jackson was like, nay. There's always one person that could be in the game, but don't want to play. Control, because I don't want none of this shit to work if I can't be the soul. I'm hypercritical and proud. I woke up during surgery and said, I'm trying to get some sleep. You're being too loud. I'm unruly. I'd rather shit not work if it don't go through me. I'm the boss, I'm telling. I want to do an album with sounds of blackness and brotherland. EBK. Michael Jackson's movie came out. Janet Jackson was like, nay. There's always one person that could be in the game, but don't want to play. Control, because I don't want none of this shit to work if I can't be the soul. I'm hypercritical and proud. I woke up during surgery and said, I'm trying to get some sleep. You're being too loud. I'm unruly. I'd rather shit not work if it don't go through me. I'm the boss, I'm telling. This is who did it, and somehow they got seeds in their watermelon. You don't like me anyway. You want my $1 million friendship with Penny Pat, and I could change it all for you. I gave a nigga a car that needed a ride, and all he did was complain about the other shit I'm not doing for him when he hopped inside. I don't owe none of y'all nothing. My time, my dimes, it's mine. My time, my dimes, it's mine.
Let's be honest. There's a podcast about everything. Anything you could possibly think of, they podcast about it, and I'm making fun of it. Here's my next segment. Podcast be like. Gawd. Check it out. I'm telling you right now. Michael Jordan, 1A. Kobe Bryant, Bing, Black Mamba, 1B. Boston Garden, 63 points. What did Bird say?